Okay. I wonder if that comes out. Hello and welcome to Drone Out. Another fantastic episode in which it's the lockdown, live long and love. And we are joined by the wonderful and beautiful and somewhat my personal nemesis and bully, Blue Owl.
Hi everyone.
who admittedly scared the living crap out of me, because when I joined for the weekend, you and Frank were playing Curry Kitten Simulator, I think, and I joined the Discord, and I walked in at like possibly the worst moment where you were like, "Oh, I hate my boyfriend," and I was like,
I don't think she ever said that.
No, she did, because he was. It turns out he was really good at a trick, like first go. She weren't being like dissing her boyfriend to Frank, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" Like Frank, you they weren't. It was
I don't think it happened. Stop making up stories.
It did. It was just like if I had gone in and it had cut off, I would have been like, oh. But no, it was completely innocent. But you were. I think he could do a flip or a trick that you couldn't do, and you were like, oh, I hate him for that. And that's the bit I walked in on. I think he was like, just like,
are you sure you joined the same room? Because maybe it was someone else.
But that was kind of interesting. The little stud muffin, Andrew / Frank.
Good evening.
Even though apparently that didn't happen. I heard what I heard. But we got Pavel Spakowski in the chat. Hello, he's a little love muffin. He's I know, like, oh, may we forever be graced with your wonderful iNav.
Do you think the helicopter on Perseverance runs iNav?
I don't know, maybe. Probably some nicked code there somewhere. My little stud muffin, my darling wife.
Bonjour.
My little Tony.
Hi.
Oh, sorry, buddy. I burped in the middle of that, and that's why. That was that pause. Sorry. My little Tony.
Bonjour.
No, I'll give you a clean. Can you clean that up, editor? I'm very sorry. My surrogate father and best video game dad ever, Curry Kitten.
Hello.
And the man that does class me somewhat as a friend, but also an annoyance, the sexiest man alive, NJ Tech.
Evening, valued viewers.
So, we received an email. Is that the person I meant to send stickers to? If it is, can you email me again to make sure, and I will send those stickers off. This week, we've got a bag of mini eggs to win. I will send you a bag of mini eggs. Guys, have a think about a word you want to put at the end of the chat, and Blue Owl can choose it, maybe.
I'll just say that anybody that's seen live streams recently will know that the chance of getting a bag of mini eggs with mini eggs still in them seems unlikely. Because every time we're doing anything, you're eating mini eggs.
Content subject to change.
Yeah, no. I've got my own supply of mini eggs.
An envelope with just one mini egg in it.
These mini eggs are. Hang on, I'll sign the mini eggs.
The dust out the bottom of a packet of mini eggs.
No,
just a little kind of sprinkles of shell.
You can snort them still, and you still get a chocolate buzz from them.
These.
Plus the added flux from being in Jack's room for 30 seconds.
Totally.
All sorts of interesting smells.
If it's overseas, LDO's paying the shipping. That's all I'm saying. But no, I've got my own mini eggs. They're safe. Speaking of mini eggs, I sent NJ some mini eggs. How many have you done now?
I'm not quite to half the box, but yeah.
To be clear, this episode not sponsored by mini eggs.
That's how we get to.
We are open to sponsorship from Cadbury's though, because everybody likes mini eggs. Let's face it.
Yeah.
They're like crack. Jack sends you the first one free, and he knows you'll be back for more.
Yeah, that's it. But I don't know. I just wanted something interesting. I actually asked my neighbour Ash to pick up these mini eggs for this exact reason, for the chance to win some mini eggs. I thought it'd be good due to the severe lack of content. People can tune in and be like, "Well, at least I might get some mini eggs."
Clive asked who won the dog-chewed Mavic arm, because that was part of the giveaway last week, wasn't it?
Can you grab Sheldon on Discord to choose someone?
Yeah, I'll see if I can message him.
Yeah, and send him the link to that thing. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, he's got to send that off. Hopefully he will, but who knows? Has anyone been flying this week?
I've hovered in the garden. Does it count?
It's something. It's more than most
I
of
will
us.
show you. See this? Do you see something quite subtle on the top there?
No, it's very small and we can't see it. What is it though?
This is obstacle avoidance for your toy grade type pretend Mavic quad, which I tested in the garden, and I found out that the range of this is somewhere between 5 and 10 meters, meaning as soon as I took off in my garden and tried to go forward, it would just beep at me. So I could fly around the garden backwards, but as soon as I tried to go forwards anywhere, it would just stop and beep. So not brilliant for small gardens, but I might take it off.
Is it purely an audible warning? It's not linked to the flight controller in any way?
No, it is linked. You press forward, it just beeps, but doesn't go anywhere.
We have a closer look at the camera.
How do you link it onto
the obstacle avoidance thingy?
Oh, the obstacle avoidance. It's on a little servo type thing, so it goes back and forth like this. It's got a laser. It's got a nice warning here saying, "Do not look at the laser, else your eyes burn out." So it fires the laser out, and there's a return. Who knows how dangerous this is? But apparently it can detect. But from here onwards, it can't detect. So you can happily fly backwards or sideways into a wall, but just not forward for a wall that's over 5 meters away.
Does it not have like a class 1, class 2, class 1A kind of sticker on it somewhere?
It just says, "Please do not look directly at the laser emission port of obstacle avoidance. It may cause eye injury."
With a happy face emojicon.
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, I guess it says somewhere on the box, but usually it has to have a class certification for it to be legal to sell. But I'm sure no one really cares at this point.
It's Chinese. It's not particularly useful in the garden. That's what I found. So if I want to do my in-depth test of flying in the garden, then I have to remove that again and then fly it around. That was my excitement of today, and it was jolly exciting for the 5 minutes it lasted. And then I found out that you can't turn obstacle avoidance off, which is a bit of a pain. So I have to actually remove the obstacle avoidance thing if I want to do anything.
Sounds interesting. Can I put it on my van?
That would work. But your parking space, you'd be like beep, 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 and it would stop. And then you're 5 meters away. It's another car, and someone else could park in that space.
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
Can
brilliant.
I think I might need it though for like mugs and glasses of water and possibly bottles of beer. We'll see how this evening goes.
So it can stop you throwing stuff over your computer.
Yeah. The past few days, I've launched a cup of tea all over some nice white laundry, and this evening a glass of water all over my desk. So yeah, it's been going well. I need some collision avoidance on drinking containers.
I spilt a glass of squash all over my carpet today, so don't worry about it. And then I used the Karcher window vac to hoover water, suck the juice out of the carpet, if you know what I mean.
Is this just you trying to get revenge on your robot Hoover?
Yeah.
Trying to get him hopped up on sugar?
No. I got one of the obstacle avoidance towers and put it in the middle of it, and it's only hoovered half the room. So it will do. NJ made me remake my bed, so everyone please appreciate my bed making skills.
Good job.
I did tell a little porky pie, I said that I wasn't wearing any trousers, and then he immediately foiled me.
Yeah,
what would you have done if you'd
if
seen
anyone
my
wants
wiener?
to donate some money so Jack has to light a firework.
That's what I would have done, Jack.
Oh, I have to reject the invitation with a broken leg. Oh, how did you break your leg?
Ow.
Oh,
Pavel.
no. Pavel. How did
What happened to
that
Pavel?
happen? I know. I think he's gone all like gang related and started fighting. Can it be boosted to take out children? Jesus Christ!
What about the laser?
I know.
Sledge ride. Oh,
Well,
sexy broken
If only.
leg.
At least
Oh,
you
did
have
we disclaimer?
No.
Oh, put disclaimer up. We'll read it quickly before we start lasering children. Any views expressed by any guests on this show are personal and may not reflect the views of others. Thank you.
Yeah. Jack's got
Sledge
his
ride.
knee
It was
knocked out.
awesome.
So we
Until the
probably
leg
shouldn't
breaking
ignore
moment.
the monumental event that's happening within the hour by now. Is it?
I think we can show you what's happening.
Frank's on it.
There we
Please
go.
explain this, Frank.
I have to open for it to actually work. There we go. Yeah, so in 37 minutes, the NASA Perseverance rover is touching down, or hopefully, if they got the correct units this time. And it's got the first flying vehicle on Mars on board. So they've done a load of testing. It's basically a coaxial helicopter. So 2 propellers, one going one way, one going the other, one above the other. So it's not quite a quadcopter, not quite a helicopter.
Damn.
Something else entirely, with like huge carbon blades because the atmosphere is pretty thin. But they've got this issue kind of where they haven't been able to test it entirely because you can't really tune gravity here to match gravity on Mars, but you can kind of fudge it some other ways.
Wonder if they've got probably a variable pitch on it or something to.
But then there's also the atmosphere composition is different, the atmosphere pressure is different, so they've had to kind of like test lots of different, you can kind of go, well, it'll be like this if we go in this particular wind tunnel, and it'll be like this if we go in this particular wind tunnel, and it'll kind of all match up hopefully with our simulations of what it should fly like. But it's kind of a bit of a lots of fudge factors until they actually get it on Mars and try and fly it. So the rover's going to put it down somewhere, run away, so it doesn't get crashed into or whatever, and then they're going to take it off and hover and then try and land it. And if they do that, then it's mission success because it will be the first one to fly on Mars, and they're not expecting it to do anything else. It would be nice if it does. But that is their goal for this mission for that aircraft is just to.
So they're not going to try and
fly
recharge
it.
it or anything. It's just like, will it fly? Will it land? If so, all good.
Yeah, have we got the PIDs right? Does it all
No,
work? Are we
no.
right? Are we right in our assumptions of
No
how it all
FPV in
works?
it.
I'm pretty sure there'll be no scrubbing this particular mission either. That's quite a it's quite a long way to go. They've got it's now or never.
Yeah.
Tony,
So-
why was your dog hiding from you?
So I don't know. She went really weird this afternoon and went behind the couch. She's all right now, but I don't know.
Good if they got this giant yo-yo out the way.
There you go.
Sorry.
But
I
yeah,
was just,
so it'd be interesting because like if they fly it and it works, or maybe it needs a bit more tuning, and they can send a new version of the software over the very slow Martian internet and leave it to update, and try again.
Probably Talk or someone like that.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, because that's what we were kind of talking about just before we went live. Is although it's got loads of HD cameras all over the landing vehicle and on the rover, and I think on the drone as well, but the radios they've got on it can only transmit it up to the Mars orbiters, and then the Mars orbiters have to then relay that back to Earth. But that means that you've got a tiny bit of bandwidth in which to actually send everything back. So even though it's got loads of HD footage and photos and everything that it will be sending back over the next few weeks, months, whatever, it won't be it doesn't have the bandwidth there to be able to just FPV it, even with a delay.
Bit of lag in there.
Well, there's the lag as well. So there will be the lag in the telemetry, but they've literally only got enough bandwidth to send telemetry live.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but we'll get more and more nice HD footage and photos and things over the next few weeks, but it will come out gradually.
I presume it's going to have some kind of selfie stick that's going to come out of one side so that it can take lovely self pictures.
Yep.
Let's hope
Am
it
I
doesn't
all
have to be-
here?
Let's hope it doesn't have to be put into DFU mode and someone has to hold the boot button down in order to reflash it.
Robin says, I hope it has turtle mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
so
hope so.
they've said if it goes well and it does fly, if they can get it to fly, then they'll be sending loads more and they'll use those to then do sort of longer range reconnaissance from the rovers, or maybe even mapping in more detail or that kind of thing. So there might be loads more drones on Mars. But this is the kind of proof of concept to say, we're pretty sure we can get something to fly on Mars, but we should probably check.
Live with 11 minutes of delay. Tony will be able to fly that. Me and Tony back in the day.
Yeah,
Tony on base flight.
that's it. We'll be all right, Jack.
Yeah, I used to fly through my GoPro too, so I'm used to that sort of delay. Not a
I
problem.
was gonna say, yeah.
I remember trying that. That was horrible.
It was the for me. It was the. I've done the whole Mobius, and it was the wide dynamic range. That's what done me. Flying through a Mobius video and recording, and like the
Yeah.
wide dynamic range was like it might as well have sent the images back on postcards. Like it was terrible. You'd change altitude and you'd have to wait and hope for for the camera to readjust.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Good old days.
Does anyone know what the weather is the weekend? Is it going to be better than it has been? Because we've had snow, loads and loads of rain. I just want a dry day so I can just go for a walk with a backpack and a drone on. So I can actually
Don't forget
go
the
and
wind
fly.
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it just sucks, doesn't it? Just want some nice weather.
Oh, it's gonna be nice here. I feel like I'm
Go
making
out, though.
more and more enemies every week. The new person
definitely.
start hating me.
Are you going to go out and fly though, if it's nice?
Or
Maybe.
drone fish.
Will be nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go fishing.
Have
Yeah.
you reassembled your drones, having cleaned them?
Yeah, I started reassembling. Not done yet, but then again, what's the point? If I have a plan of going flying, it can be done in probably 20-30 minutes. But there was no need so far, unfortunately.
I've got that flight controller to fit in the Explorer. I almost started getting on with that, but then the weekend I just spent my time watching 80s films and Frank shouting at me being like, stop being a slug, and I'm like, no, leave me
I don't think
alone.
that's an exact quote, but we'll go with it for now.
Yeah, it should be. I don't know. What about you, NJ? I hear squeaky little rumours of another toothpick happening.
I believe there is more things in the works that Bloods is chipping away at. But yeah, I think at some point we'll just get him on here to tell us what he's up to. But there's a couple of big things potentially on the horizon for Halo. So yeah, exciting times. But yeah, at some point, obviously, we'll see the Archon V3, which Bloods is going to send me to have a look at, which I'm very excited about. The Archon was definitely my main frame for a long time. So yeah, things are happening.
Cool.
I've
Can
got
I
nothing.
But not many things are happening.
Aerodynamics. Let's do 5 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh God, do you really want? We can do that.
Go on then, Jake.
I won't say anything.
How do you
Okay,
spell lethal? As in
That's
lethal
Gary Ken got
weapon.
his board ready.
I was going to say, looks like he's poised to grab it. Okay, well, what we'll do, I did scan the comments because usually we don't get the chance to. I try and keep an eye on the comments, but from a couple of weeks ago, I did notice a few people say that they didn't know how a wing worked, the basic function of a wing, and I think that's a very good place to start with aerodynamics. So what we're going to do here, the first thing I'm going to do is just show you with my iPad
The
here.
numbers dropping.
Bear with me. What we're going to do, I'm going to draw on my iPad here and show you. Bear with me.
It's an audio podcast, you gobshite.
Well, I'll have to start with this and then go from there.
Wacky Wes.
If you're listening to this in a
Right,
car,
so-
I'm very sorry. Try not to fall asleep.
Here we have particles going from left to right, which represent airflow to us. So we're going to be talking about looking down the cross-section of a wing. And then the first thing I'm going to do is just draw something that would fly terribly. So we're
Penis.
going to draw...
A penis.
We're going to draw a brick. And you can kind of see what the airflow is doing around it. It's hitting the front of the brick, and then it's all incredibly wavy and turbulent all the way around it.
Drawing of a ZMR.
That
Isn't
looks
it?
like the air on the top of my van when I put my rooftop tent on.
Well, there you go.
You
Exactly.
got that yet?
Not yet.
And then what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to change this to represent pressure instead. And if you look, that's actually giving you an idea of what's going on with the pressure of the air particles. And remember, air is just a fluid. It's a type of fluid. So it's very, very similar behavior to how water is. But there you've got air at the front, and you can see the blue is the lower pressure and the red is the high pressure. But you can see an enormous amount of pressure on the front of our brick doing 150 miles through the air. And you can see there's no real pressure either way that's going to do anything to help this brick fly very well. So there's an example of something very, very unaerodynamic. And you can see all the pressure at the front would mean this would just want to slow down. It's not going to get us in the air. Now, if you look at the cross-section of a wing, so I'm just going to reset this now.
Going to get rid of the lipo.
Particles. Right, so we're back to a blank page, and then what I'm going to have to do here is freehand try and draw something that resembles a wing. Bear with me. Something like that. Okay, so there's our wing.
Very nice.
It's not a wonderful wing, but it will do. This is looking down the cross-section of a wing. And what you're noticing here with the design of a wing is that you have a very flat section on the underside and a curvy top section. If you ever look at an airplane wing from the side, you'll notice the top section is very curved. Same with propeller design. And what you're actually trying to do here, what it's about is how the airflow is splitting here. It has to split to go either side of the aerofoil, either the top side or the bottom side, to move through our fluid, which is air. Now, when you do that, there's a whole argument about how this works, which I can see Frank raising an eyebrow, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah,
I can feel the eyebrow raise from here.
Dangerous territory, this.
We're going with the standard, GCSE to A-level physics explanation. If I go to the pressure screen again, you'll notice something different going on. Now, what we've actually got, I haven't actually drawn a terribly good wing aerofoil here, but this will give you the rough idea. You'll now notice we've got a low pressure on the top of the wing, and we've got a high pressure under the wing. And those are the forces acting on this object. And the basic principle of this is that we have, by curving the top surface, the air has to take a longer surface to go along to meet up with the back of the aerofoil. So the air has to move faster across the top to meet up with the air that's going in a straight line on the underside. So because of that, faster moving air is at a lower pressure than slower moving air, which is at a higher pressure. And now you've got forces on the wing of low pressure on the top, high pressure underneath. If you've got low pressure on the underside, you're pushing the wing up. And that is, in a nutshell, the very basics. And I'm saying very basics here because there's lots more arguments about how all this works. That's the very basics of how an aerofoil generates lift on an aircraft and what you'll see in a propeller, because a propeller is nothing more than a rotating wing. So there we go. I think I managed that under 5 minutes.
Well done. Thank you.
Very welcome.
I'm just going to put that there.
Next week, vortices and drag.
Oh, I've got a job just thinking about it.
I was waiting for Jack to jump on drag. Yeah.
Nah, you're right. It's not quite my thing. I don't look good now, let alone a dress. Oh. So how was the FPV like simulator session, Blue Owl and Mr. Frank?
What happened to Tony? Was he too drunk?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's weird. He couldn't have been that drunk. I didn't have any text saying I love me.
Or he was so drunk that like he was tapping it on his just like his remote for his TV.
Yeah, the wrong side of the phone.
Yeah, we missed Tony. It wasn't as entertaining as it could have been.
Sorry, guys. Maybe next time. If you do it Friday night, tomorrow night, I might be up for it.
There was some interesting moves though. You had the inside Matty thing,
spin, kind of
Matty spin through the towers, which looked quite good. Although it was a little bit gonna vomit some way through it, but.
Yeah, we'll see what happens because I know that there are some cooling towers in the area around somewhere around your place. I know that, so if I ever manage to come to the UK and fly with you guys, we'll see who will vomit first.
Mm-hmm.
Me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but
make
that's
him sit in the back of the car, or he'll chuck like anything.
Yeah, but that's pretty interesting. It's not something I've done before with high tilt, because normally when you fly in high tilt, you have an obstacle that you fly around. Usually you need this vertical reference, something that's sticking out from the ground, because you cannot see the ground, right? So normally we would fly around trees or, I don't know, some kind of lamp, something very, very high. But here, if you're flying inside a chimney, you don't really have this obstacle in the middle, and you have an obstacle on the outside, and that is weird. That is trippy. I mean, I find it really, really interesting. So, yeah, we need to practice that. It's not going that well for now, but yeah, I can imagine that it can make some people vomit.
I'm only coming on to play hide and seek, and then I'm leaving.
Okay.
Doing trippy inside tunnel things. So.
I just very quickly respond to a couple of things said in the chat. So one is about the fact that quads have nothing, are obviously very unaerodynamic. Yeah, the quad itself, if the motors weren't turning, it will just fall out the sky. It's not like a glider. There's absolutely nothing inherently aerodynamic about a quadcopter, and they're entirely reliant on the power of those 4 spinning rotors to keep them in the air, which is why you can take your 1300 milliamp battery and fly for 3 minutes on your quadcopter, and you can take the same battery, put it in a model aircraft, and probably fly for 15 to 20 minutes. Why? And the other thing was, even though Lurgy was making a winky face here, how do I fly a wing inverted? So there are different types of aerofoil. Normal wings, I think, are actually following that same curvature on the top and straighter underneath. It's all a matter of that case of power and angle of attack. They won't be as efficient inverted as they will be the right side up. And that also leads on to planes like the Edge 540, planes that are designed to spend as much time upside down as they are the right side up. And those have a symmetrical wing pattern. So they have the same amount of curve on the top and the bottom, so that there's no, so they're not as efficient as a wing that is made in the traditional sense, but they offer an equal amount of lift with the right amount of thrust, whether they're the right way up or inverted. So there's a lot of variation in wing design to accommodate all of these things. So
What about canards, NJ?
oh Lord, let's not get onto that.
Come on, draw me a good picture of a canard.
It's too.
Someone asked me
talk about.
to draw a penis on there to see what the aerodynamic properties were and the pressure differences. But this is a free app, by the way, called Wind Tunnel. So if you want to see how different shapes work in an airflow and how the pressures are affected, go and grab that free on
Everyone's going
iOS
to
or
draw a
Android.
penis on it straight away.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you do, of course. Yeah.
I remember
One of life's
having
questions.
like software written in Fortran, trying to do just like a basic airfoil, trying to map out the pressures and the speed and everything, doing all that stuff that you just did live, and leaving a computer running overnight trying to do that. And you've just got it sitting on an iPad. I'll just draw a shape and it'll do it.
Crazy. It is.
Yeah.
Kids don't know how good they've got it.
Absolutely.
Why does Tony's avatar come up on this?
I don't know. It's
Weird.
weird, isn't it? How long we got?
Ooh.
Depends on the size of the penis. Exactly, wings.
Next phase
900 and something
is
miles.
in a minute's time.
altitude
It's going to
miles.
do. Where's the
Doesn't
solar
it need
panels
those solar
gone?
panels?
It just shed them.
Oh, I'll buy then.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Don't
it
need them
need those
anymore.
to recharge?
If you're listening now, we're watching the cruise stage separation going down to Mars in 40 seconds.
I want
Is
to
there
know
an
what.
acceptance
Well,
that
still
Mars
quite
is
high
a sphere,
up.
Tony, or is that supposed to be flat too?
That is none of my business. Don't know.
Never
do
going to go,
remember
never going to
it-
find out. Who cares?
Yeah, this
Are
is
you-
all fake. This is all faking on someone's computer anyway, isn't it? Look, they can't even do it live.
This is.
It's just
That is fair.
exactly. It's all
Smoke
pretend.
detector in space. That's all right.
That's it. That's exactly what
Andy
they've done.
RC's here as well. Always pressure on
Andy?
the balls, apparently.
Creep in the background.
I know. I watched. I funny enough, I watched a bit of the old Flat Earth idiots, and one of them bought like a laser-powered gyroscope, and they were like, there should be 15 degrees of drift on this as we move it around the world, and it turns out there was. And then they started arguing at why this, like for other reasons this might happen. And also I found out about, is it Australia's got tectonic drift where it's moving. I think it's moved 3 miles or 3 meters like north of where it was, and it's messing up all the GPS and everything. Does anyone else know about that? That was
No.
kind of
Yes.
weird.
I know that there's multiple GPS kind of models of the Earth that they try and keep updating based on all sorts of things, like where your stations are, tectonic drift, and
All right, you asked for it. So it's fairly obvious
Yes.
that there is indeed high pressure around
Head.
the direction of the balls. There is high pressure on the head, and there is high pressure at the.
the alternating vortices around.
There is some alternating vortices around
the
of
rear
low
movement
pressure.
is-
So
looks uncomfortable to me.
yeah, I'm not convinced this will fly terribly well. But yeah, there you go.
Can you
Any
draw
other
a vagina?
requests?
How aerodynamic is a vagina?
I'm going to say it's going to be considerably more aero than this.
I feel the problem with both these pieces of anatomy is they normally come attached to a human being, which will create more vertices and things.
I saw Grumpy FPV say curry is gonna boil. I thought that was like my favourite. Professor, we need to get him a little
Good.
lab coat, don't we, Professor?
I haven't held up the sign.
That penis needs more angle of attack.
Well.
Well,
It was a bit cold as soon as you got the wind tunnel going on it. So
It would need a method of propulsion as well. So there is that small issue.
You can tell we haven't flown for a while.
God, we're going stir crazy. It's like we've been stuck in for way too long. AG has.
Have you not managed to get out and fly recently, NJ? I thought you're like vaguely in the country.
They stopped his site, didn't they, out the front?
Yeah, my site was shut down, sadly. So it's probably more than I should be allowed to travel to go fishing. If I was, it would. Yeah, I'd probably have to travel a little further to find the spot. But I did have a little mess around in what was it, AccuRC, which is so I could do a little bit of helicopter and line of sight plane flying last night, and it did give me a little buzz. I think I've realised I'm starting to miss it. So
it was really good to watch. And then Andy got on. Andy RC got on the. He got onto another sim, and it was good,
he was on.
Good to watch.
Was it a real flight?
Real
I think
sim?
he was on the.
I think
it was that or real flight. It was one of the. I can't remember, but yeah, Andy will type it in chat. But yeah, and Andy's got some line of sight skills for especially some of that 3D plane flying. Yeah,
I know. God damn it, Andy RC.
Yeah, rolling circles and all sorts.
I'd be very aroused. I don't know about you, Blue Al. Sorry. Sometimes I forget you're here. Please feel free to tell me off if you feel the need, or just bully me more, which you do anyway.
Yeah,
don't bully him anymore. He likes it.
You're asking for it, Jack.
It's true. The second we go off air, she absolutely lays into Jack. She just would not believe it.
Yeah.
Like a different person. It's all sweet and innocent on here, but
later on, she's choking me, like screaming at me, pulling my hair and hitting me.
Oh my god.
I think
what did she say? What did you say?
Nothing. You have to watch it back.
She's really scary. Send help.
You'll have to come up to the cooling towers and find out, Jack.
No, I'm scared of her. That's why I don't look her in the eye anymore.
It's a good place to leave a body.
And move away slowly.
There's some ready dug little trenches.
I know. Yeah, this trench is really...
When is the weather going to turn? Have we got any predictions on that? I think it's fairly consistently for the last few years been May, isn't it? I think that's actually been our whole summer has generally been in May. I think
sometimes there's a bit of summer around Easter time, but Easter keeps moving, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's when it's
good weeks in April the last couple of years.
Me and Tony always have a bit of the old October fly for some reason. And then every year we're like, what are we doing? This is like, this is like literally like, Halloween, and me and Tony are flying in T-shirts. And then we turn to Frank and be like, but like, do you remember those nationals? And like Frank goes, it was like literally, it was like, if I was as fat as I am now back then, they would have cut me open and slept in me like a tauntaun. It was like Planet Hoth. Oh, it's freezing.
I just remember like everyone piling into my parents' car that I brought because I had the heating on. It was just like there's a queue of people just coming and sitting in, defrosting in the car, and I was handing around because I had a giant pack for some reason. I can't remember why I bought this. A giant pack of space blankets, like the foil blankets. And
do they work?
Did you just are they in your emergency kit in the car just anyway?
It's just the go bag.
Stuff like that.
I think a lot of them were taken very readily, and there was a lot of people huddled around what little campfire you could have, just trying to stay warm. But I think they worked. People used them a lot, so I assume they worked.
It was honestly like I think he saved so many lives back then from exposure. It was terrible. It was. I'm lucky to have nipples left. I mean, it was all right for the little ferret in there. He made a little nest in the corner of the tent, but I was literally dying. I was like, Tony, please kill me. Like, you know, me and Frank were like visiting the.
Was that where I was having to give you instructions to get around the course?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was James Maying it fully.
Oh, I remember that. Was that?
And I got in trouble for freestyling.
Oh yeah, you went backwards on the racetrack and freestyled and everything, didn't you?
The
Yeah,
next gate's on your left. The next gate's in front of you.
We're 2 minutes away, apparently, from hitting the atmosphere, says Caroline
let's have
Tyler.
a look, Frank. But someone hum or talk in the background.
I will mention 2 small announcements from me since we have nothing to do with that. You can join me tomorrow at 9 o'clock UK time, where I'll be having a solo live stream to celebrate 20,000 subscribers and talk about not a lot in general, but feel free to join me. Also, as far as the sim goes, I should have a open beta release next week with the game, because we now have 10 levels of the game. I'm just tuning the last level to make sure it's not too difficult, and then you guys can all try playing it and see if you can get good times and stuff. This is the single player game.
Your mic just then.
I don't know. It went really weird, but
went a bit lo-fi. I think bandwidth.
Really? Oh.
It's doing like retro gaming.
You want to do that again, Curry? Because you sounded like absolute dog shit.
Did you miss both bits? Do I need to do the whole lot again?
No, I got the end, but you might as well do it again for the editor.
All right. So tomorrow, excitingly on my channel, I'm having a live stream, not a lime stream.
Wow,
this is where we're literally live from a stream at 9 o'clock. Join me and ask me stuff, or just hang out, and I will just hang out if there's people there, and if there's not, I'll just cry and stop it. And the other thing was the sim. The sim I've been not going pretty solid on the last 2 weeks because the weather's been bad. Making this single player game about rolling a ball around a course and trying to get to the end. I have just about got 10 levels done as soon as I make the last level not as difficult as it has been, and that will be going
from a programming stance.
No, if you try and fly it's really, really hard. It started out too hard, so I had to sort of bring it back a bit. So because there's this fine line between like, oh, that's quite challenging, to sort of throwing joystick across the room. So I'm not playing this no more. Sucks. That sort of difficulty.
Robin asked another sim update launch test from the LDO.
What's that mean?
I've got no idea. I was hoping someone else would know.
I thought it was just me then.
Live stream is for a summer drink.
What do you guys think? Should we do a live stream playing the sim?
Now she's just bullying me. She's taking a piss.
I like it.
Who got her on here? She's
look at me taking the piss in one of my second or third languages.
We're all going to call it though now. I'm going live streaming.
Yeah. Live stream.
Yeah.
I know. I miss Mags now. At least Mags never used to bully me.
We used to just bully Philip instead.
Yeah. Oh, Fifi.
Touchdown in 4
They're married now, aren't they? See, Blue Owl understood me. Yeah, Blue Owl really is the brains of the outfit now.
I just gotta bully you so that you don't bully me for. I'm the only one with the funny accent and the only one who doesn't understand what you say from time to time. So it's my defense strategy.
No, it's not you.
Mine is just ignore him or just
a load of bollocks.
My daughter tells me I have a different voice when I do this. This isn't my real voice, apparently. This is my YouTube voice, which is different than my regular voice.
Oh, right.
Does it mean you're alive?
You've got a different voice when talking to me. It's like sheer disappointment. You're like, how do I change directories in Linux? And I'm like, no. Is it /CD or something? Don't have.
No, not the slash. Don't put a slash there.
Oh, shush.
Now, how long have you been in your current job where it is generally based around a Raspberry Pi which runs Linux? How many years?
2 years now.
And we still don't know how to make a directory.
No, I do. I just look it up.
Still going quite fast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it going to fire a booster at some point and sort of just slow down?
parachute.
It's
Is this like
gonna
a
have
parachute
the-
thing, or
Yeah, the world's, well, you know,
parachute.
the biggest
then-
ever supersonic parachutes ever made.
Oh, yeah, I hope they're
10
strong.
G of deceleration. Apparently.
Parachute deploy in 5 seconds.
ooh,
Have you got
Everything looking
a
nominal.
sparkler now for when it touches down?
What
There
was
it
that?
goes.
You're on sparkler duty.
Yeah, because
What?
Jack can't light a sparkler or a firework because his pants will catch
Oh,
fire.
the
'cause
fireworks?
He's
You
only
want
got his
fireworks?
little
I have
pajamas
fireworks.
on.
Yeah, in celebration,
All right.
if it lands.
Pink sheet.
The
Well,
thing
this
is, you don't know. It's a simulation, so how do
Exactly.
you know if it's actually
so
landed?
how good is the telemetry? Can the telemetry tell that the parachute has been
I
successfully
presume
deployed?
so.
In 12 minutes, I guess we will know.
Where's the helicopter? Try and find the helicopter.
Well, touchdown in
there
2
somewhere.
minutes. I can't. Where do they put the blade?
That is
How
cool.
big? We were talking about the helicopter
Moving
before because
forward,
it seems like quite a weird thing to put. Like, this is a really thin atmosphere. Okay, let's spin blades. It's like you either have to spin them very fast, or your blades have to be very big,
I think
and
they're
or
quite
have
big.
very high pitch. Is it a combination of both? So they don't have
Yeah.
to spin
Yeah.
all that fast.
I think it's quite big and high pitched.
High angles of attack. Yeah.
I
So
think
are these things going to sort
from-
of fold and fold and fold and fold or something to get out? Because it doesn't look like they've packed them. This is a
I
bit
think
bad
from
oversight.
No.
memory, the blades are something like 1.5 meters long each. I think.
And how big's the actual drone?
Don't know.
Do you reckon they're getting a constant telemetry critical?
Nominal.
Could you
I like
imagine
the
if
word
it just
normal.
half of it landed on a little shelf like the one we're seeing there, and it just sat there teetering?
Mm.
Could happen.
RSSI.
RSSI critical. Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Oh no, it's
Oh,
dropped.
we've got-
What's going on?
Yeah, but it's
That
got,
can't be right.
that's
It's
what's supposed to happen
Using
now.
its thrusters here.
Yeah, it's got
Oh,
thrusters.
okay.
Zoom in
Because I
on
was
it,
going to
and then-
say
And
they've
then
dropped it a mile high. That's going to be
the
bad.
bottom of that, then it winches it down, apparently, I think.
Yeah, the skyhook.
Hmm.
Very cool.
What's it
Like-
attached to then?
So the top half of that is going to fly up
Hover.
and then lower the rest of it by crane.
Yeah. If you can believe that. I
It
think
just
it's
seems
all in a
more
studio
efficient
down
just
the
to sort
road.
of try and land and like thrust as you go down.
No,
Oh, I
it'll-
see.
It's hovering.
There it goes.
There we go.
I still don't see the drone.
This is
Did
not.
they definitely
gonna work.
pack it?
This cannot work. This is something Tony has dreamt. This is how complicated is this? This is not. Oh my god!
Where's the drone buggering off to?
That's it. It's done its bit.
See ya.
FX Node has explained it. It's the crane because of the dust, which is why they just don't land directly.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Surface operations begin. Go.
Proceed with donuts.
So is this all happening now live? And
Well,
then,
we've got a delay of 11 minutes. But
and then
It's
11
already
minutes
happened.
we find
I don't
This
know
out
is
if
like-
that was the telemetry and
This is stuff from the
it's
future.
following the telemetry. I don't know.
they've
So I
done
think
it
that's
before,
just a
apparently.
case of going. This is what we've told it to do now, so we're
Yeah.
hoping that's what's
We
happening.
think that's happened. Frank, when you said it's going to deploy the drone and then run away, does the Mars rover still go about 0.3 kilometers per hour? It was like 9 hours later. Okay, drone, you're ready to take off. I'm at a safe
I think it
distance.
is quite slow.
Yeah, it's not a fast thing.
Yeah.
That was quite exciting for a
There's
simulation.
No way that works. Honestly.
It does, like the concept of it's a little bonkers to think they went all that way and that's all just going to go perfectly.
Yeah.
In a
It's
slightly
almost
unknown
like Thunderbirds,
atmosphere.
isn't it?
It's
like,
very Thunderbirds.
Jesus Christ. These NASA guys, man, the coke and whores they must be getting through to come up with it. No, we're not going to chuck it down there. We're going to hang it from a crane, and then it's going to be a helicopter, and then it's like thrusters
They literally
everywhere.
don't do the coke and whores. This is how they can come up with this sort of stuff and make
Yeah,
it
I
work.
know.
This is what you could do too, Jack, if you stopped at doing all that and focused your energy on something constructive.
Oh,
I think the
no.
only place that works, Jack, is Wall Street. apart from that, the rest of the world operates the other way round
Oh,
in terms of productivity.
touchdown confirmed, but is it on fire?
Ooh.
How fun.
Landed safely. Landed okay. Thunderbird Argo. It can drive itself 200 meters apparently. Magical Pencil's probably like really disappointed in me. I have a YouTube stream. It's about a minute behind.
This is usually the point where I find that I haven't screwed my props on or something.
Yeah, this is
Something
the
I've
Tony.
forgotten.
This is
Yeah.
the Tony bit now of his 11-inch. He wishes. It's now waiting for satellites.
Oh God, yeah. Sit there for about 10 minutes now.
I know. Thank you for phoning me during my live stream, Tony. I know I'm gobshite, but I actually phoned him back and I was like, I actually miss talking to you.
Did you phone up because Jack was starting to call you a sex offender during
Yeah.
the
No,
stream?
sex pest, not offender.
A sex
Sex,
pest.
I heard sex pest and I thought,
Yeah.
well, I need to ring this basket.
Not that he's either one of them, so I've witnessed.
No.
So, it
Well,
was
not.
a joke.
There's just some unexplained disappearances that are coincidental. That's all we can say.
No, I swear to God,
Don't
if someone
start that.
does do something untowards in that woods, poor Tony's gonna get it in the neck, and he's gonna be like, no, they're just dickheads on a podcast.
Yes. I'm glad we've brought that back up. Thanks.
No, it wasn't me.
I wonder if he was on the news, they'd say stuff like flat earther and drone terrorist.
No
Tony.
drone
Lives
terrorist.
on own near
Had this
Gatwick.
to say.
And then have library footage of you stood on your van around Gatwick.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
People are just like, it all adds up now.
There's
Yeah,
him.
that's the conspiracy
They'll be interviewing
theories.
the
Tony's
neighbours.
building them.
Well, I used to leave him fruit on the doorstep, and then that's
know.
another story, isn't it, Jack?
Made neighbour wash his car in cold weather. The man's an animal. The
Oh,
first picture in. Well, I'm
that's-
eating
yeah.
my words.
Have you got a link for us, Caroline? This first picture in, if there's anything to see.
I want to know who's messaged Frank on Facebook. That's what I want to know.
It's probably you, to be
It
honest.
ain't me. I ain't messaged you, though.
Or one of you.
Well, that's
There you go. It's tweeted.
I am safe on Mars. Perseverance will get you anywhere.
What I'd like the first picture to be is, you know, when you have a crash and when you
There's
crash a
bits
quad and the
flying everywhere.
GoPro comes off and you see your quad going off. in
Going
somebody's-
past it, yeah.
What I'd like to see on Mars is like just the camera there and just the rover in flames in the side. That would be quite amusing.
But one of my favourite FPV videos is one where I caught both the nut and the prop leaving in separate directions before suddenly then tipping over to the side. That's quite good.
The worst is when you like play back your footage and be like, "What happened here?" and you see your battery disconnecting. That is the.
The weirdest thing about that particular thing where they separated, I found in the field both the prop and the nut. I
Wow.
mean, the prop you could find because it's bright, but we actually managed to find the nut. And it was back when it was one of those, you know, like the reverse thread ones, where it's like, well, if I can't find that, I haven't got another reverse M5.
Was it made of gold or something?
Well, you know, a squirrel might come along and eat it and die because it thinks it's, you know.
Was this like immaculately cut grass or something, like a putting green? And that's, I can't imagine any way of getting a nut back other than that.
Yeah, and it was black as well, so it was virtually invisible. It was on one of the Emax Racer series motors.
Did you just have a really big magnet?
Yes, do it.
No,
have
literally,
idea
I
how
was
many-
walking, and the sun just caught a glint on it, and I bent down, looked, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's the nut that's come off." So, should have played
All
the
the
lottery
quad-
that night.
all the quads we lost, all the batteries, all the big parts that we lost in the field. And you're telling us about your prop net.
I know,
I tell-
we've spent
I tell you-
hours looking for GoPros, up, down, up, down, up, down. Looking
I was
for
about to
GoPro.
say, you need to speak to Bloods about losing GoPros. It's absolutely incredible the amount of GoPros that guy's been through. if he hasn't bankrupt GoPro with the amount of insurance claims he's had on broken ones, I don't know who has. Or PC World, whoever carries the insurance for them. Because they were still doing that replacement service where you could just, take it in, get a fresh one, like the Walmart deal that was working out for everyone.
RFTV is responsible for the demise of the GoPro session.
It's
because
entirely
GoPro
possible.
just got fed up of replacing them. Let's just get
I
rid
think
of it.
so, yeah. I think that's entirely possible.
Jack, I don't know if you can hear us, but are you asking for fireworks?
I think he is. Blue Owl, please light one up.
Okay. Will do. I love doing that, so I'll use every opportunity. Let me get the light.
Celebration firework. Well done, NASA.
Well done, NASA.
All right.
This is more for the helicopter than the landing. Hey. Where the hell's Jack gone with 5 minutes left of the show?
Remake his bed.
Remaking it.
This has a purple tinge to it. We like him.
Right, NASA.
Cover this up.
Backwards, yeah.
Hey, well done, Jack.
That's an oddly specific amount.
Does that
That really is. What an incredibly retail amount of money.
I think that's the same price as a large bag of mini eggs.
Mini eggs, yeah.
Well done, NASA.
The question is, who will get to fly first? The Perseverance helicopter or one of us?
One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
Good challenge.
I expect it's a helicopter. Because no, what are the plans? Who is Tony? Are you trying to get out of the weekend? Is that your plan
Yes.
to go quad fishing?
Sunday, I want to go.
Might be Tony.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Someone
me
else.
hovering in the garden really counts as flying.
Well, I wouldn't say that's flying really, hovering in the garden.
I'm not even flying a proper quad, really.
No. I just want to go out and just have just a couple of batteries, just to get your fix again. I bet I'll be rubbish and crash and.
Can't you?
News articles are coming through. BBC Independent are all pinging away about the successful landing. So the BBC said it must be true, right?
Yeah.
Don't listen to us. Listen to the BBC.
Yeah, I might go out flying. That's a good challenge. We'll see. Seriously, the weather is crazy good in the coming days. It's like 10
All
or
right,
15.
don't rub it in.
So what's the
Then go
weather?
out then.
What? Come on, tell us. I want to know what weather you're having.
Today it was 10 degrees, and I think Tuesday is going to be 15 and sunny all the time, every day.
Wow.
What?
So, and
T-shirt weather.
we had quite a lot of snow, but it melted in like 2 days, and it was gone. So no excuse really. You can keep me.
Oh,
accountable.
I think you
I
need
say
to
that,
get out
but
there.
So apparently it's going to be a long time till they try the helicopter, likely 6 to 9 months, says Caroline. Well,
There
I'm
you
not
go.
sure that improves the odds. I think they're probably still the same.
It's it evens it out a little bit. but
Yeah,
I'm
there's
still
a
not
little
sure.
more chance of one of us flying. Yeah, not by much.
That seems
Thank
like a
you.
long time. It's like that's your
Yeah.
primary mission: fly the helicopter. How long will it take you? 6 to 9 months. It's like, wow, that is some pre-flight checking going on there. That's really.
I don't
taking
think
it
that's
very
the primary
seriously.
mission of the rover, but that's definitely the primary mission of the helicopter is just to fly.
Makes sense.
The mission of the rover is to drill down, take a load of fairly deep samples, look for microbial life, and store them somewhere for something else to pick them up and send them home.
There's
Yeah,
a challenge.
apparently,
Can you
yeah.
finish your VTOL thing, Frank, before the NASA helicopter flies?
That's a reasonable challenge. That is a reasonable challenge.
Oh yeah, what happened about that, Frank?
Sat in the corner, sitting there, gathering dust.
Sat in the corner, gathered dust.
Oh, dear.
They built a railway before I got it flying. All these things happened. I'm actually flat hunting tomorrow. Is my plan.
Oh.
I've got the day off because in like 3 weeks I'm unemployed, 5 weeks I'm homeless. So yeah, got to get cracking.
Yeah, Frank needs some
Love.
he needs some, delicious pancake rolls and some bagels down here, and we could have a good old crack at that.
Yep.
Well done for working out. It is in fact the price of mini eggs, the family pack size. Oh, God damn it. Sorry, yeah, I am not that well.
You can see us out. We've done an hour. I've done it. We struggled through.
I know. I'm sorry. It will pick up. We'll try and have a scout for some guests. Blue Owl and guys, Blue Owl can choose. But has anyone got any? Is it OnlyFans? Robin, someone time him out. No, don't.
I did like Onigiri's OnlyFans. There's some sneak previews on a Instagram stories. Well worth checking out.
Is it just pictures of like electric fans?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to pick a word?
Does it have to be in the language that everybody knows, or can we have some fun?
No, pick one in Polish. No one will be able to spell it.
Yeah, I wonder what's the most tricky one. You're gonna hate it, but there's a town that we always laugh at because it's called Szczebrzeszyn.
That is hilarious. I'm not surprised you spent so much time laughing.
I know, right? I know. I guess Polish people will find it easier. No, I don't know really. You guys can pick.
Prevalent.
Not feeling. Let's do perseverance. That's a difficult word as well. At least for me. And it's
Try and write something funny with the word perseverance in the comments below after the show, and you can win a bag of mini eggs.
We're going all out.
I know.
Perseverance was the only thing that kept me watching the show today. Something like that. Not that.
Almost over-inducing.
There's a bar set. Everyone else got to aim higher than that.
That comment would win the mini X for me. I thought that's brilliant.
Yeah. Thank you guys. You've been listening to Let's Drone Out. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Do we need to pick one from last week?
Yeah. What did hashtag Cockwomble? That's exactly right. Yeah. Did he get back to us? The idiot. Sheldon. Enjoy.
I haven't heard anything.
No. Nothing.
Do you want to pick someone? NJ?
I picked last week. Someone else picked.
I haven't got that loaded up. Frank, you pick.
I haven't got it loaded up either. I can have a look.
Maybe we can have a double announcement next week.
Or we could do that.
No.
That'd be easier.
Really? Is that what we're rolling over?
Roll over.
No,
Someone's going to get a chewed.
I think we could extract something slightly nicer from the drone doctor. He's got quad parts and bays in that place.
Yeah, but he still hasn't sent the. He's eating apparently. He still hasn't sent the stuff to Fruity yet. And Fruity wants a Mac.
Well, it's quite easy from last week's one. I think we can do that one. I think we can pick it because there's only one comment on last week's video that had the word doping in it.
Really?
Yeah.
And that is Clive.
And that is Clive. He said, "Scandal alert, Jack's been caught doping whilst trying to fly like Blue Owl."
Ah.
I thought
Well done.
maybe it's because the prize was pretty crap. I think this week we'll be all right.
Hopefully, yeah. If you enjoy some mini eggs, yeah, you get a nice package from me. Thank you, guys. Thanks to all our Patreons, everyone who supports the show. Thanks to myself for donating.
Can you do that? Thanks to myself.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Sheldon's here. Hello, Sheldon. I had to moderate Sheldon because the moderators keep timing him out because he's a gobshy. Yes. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, leave the comments in the chat, give the thumbs up, subscribe, unsubscribe to Tony, then subscribe again. And you've been listening to the wonderful, beautiful Blue Owl.
Bye.
I love you, really. I love my wife.
Bonjour.
The best dad ever.
Goodbye.
A Lord and Master.
Bye.
The sexy one.
Bye, everyone. Egg.
And I'm bright until I fly. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.